Today, I'm going to show you how to properly tune your snare drum. Now, this is my method. It's obviously not the only way. There's a ton of different methods you can try out there. I'm just sharing with you what works for me. Okay, so let's get started here. I'm going to rest the batter side head, the side we play on. I'm going to rest that because I want to tune the bottom snare head first. Yes, we have to tune the bottom snare head. A lot of people neglect this. If you don't tune this bottom snare head, it severely affects how your snare drum will sound, okay? So in general, the tighter this head is on the bottom, the resonant head, the more snare response and the easier it's going to be to tune your top head. So what I like to do is I like to have an interval relationship. What do I mean by intervals? I mean the distance between the pitches. Now, you don't have to tune your drums to a specific pitch. I like to because it's a reference. What you need here is you're going to need a drumstick. So to tune the bottom side, if you hear this, you hear the snares because we're hitting this head and it's vibrating the snares. You can't tune your bottom side snare like that. Here's a little tip. Take a drumstick, put it underneath, rest it on the rim. Now you have separated the snares from the drum head. Okay, then you're going to need another stick. Please use the butt end. Do not use the tip, as this may create some divots in your really thin resonant head. Okay, so use the butt end. And what we're going to do, you want to go through each tension point, maybe a little away from the rim, and tap. Make sure they're pretty close to each other. That's going to ensure a uniform balance. So what I did here is I tuned this to around a D flat, okay? And I'm going to tune the top head next to an A flat. So that's an interval relationship of, if you're thinking A flat to D flat, that's a fourth. Or if you're thinking D flat to A flat, that's a fifth. So I generally like to have a fourth or a fifth between the bottom head and the top head. Let's flip the drum over now that we've got the bottom head ready to go. We're going to flip this over. I have already finger tightened all the tension rods in place. So that's the first step. You want to finger tighten everything. All right, so now we're ready to tune our top head on the snare drum. So you're going to need a drum key. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pick one tension rod. And I'm going to keep my left hand here the whole time so I know where I started, okay? What I like to do is I like to start on one tension rod, go directly across. Then I'm going to come down to this one, go across, this one, come across, this one, come across, this one, come across. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to turn it 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important to turn each tension rod the same amount when we're trying to get the head seated on the drum. So I'm going across. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now I'm back to my starting point. This is exactly why I leave my hand here, so I don't get thrown off by where I am in my tuning pattern. Okay, as you can see, that's obviously really loose. So we want to get it to the point where it's not that loose. Let's go one more round. Now that I've got the drum at a good tension where there's not a lot of dip in the center, I'm going to seat the head. What this means is we're going to lightly give compressions in the center and stretch that head a little bit and seat it. That way, when you actually tune it, it won't be prone to going out of tune as much over the first 3 or 4 days that you play it. So this is going to help seat the head on the shell, and you're going to hear that plastic in the drum head crackle. You want to try and get all that crackle out. So now that we've got our drum head seated, we're going to go back to tuning it, and I'm just going to go 2 turns this time. Now, my goal is to tune this top head to an A flat. That's just where I personally like the pitch of this drum. So let's check it out. I think what you could all benefit from is a tuning app. And I like to use, this is a free one you can download, Pano Tuner. I'm just going to place this tuning app here. And I just want to show you where this drum is currently ringing at. So it's just a little under a D. So we are really far away, okay? We need to get all the way up to an A flat. Okay, let's see where our pitch is now, all right? Got my tuning app here. Okay, we're at an F sharp or a G flat, which means I am really close. I am a whole step away. Okay, I have arrived at my destination point. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, just like we did on the resonant side, is we're going to go to each tension rod and fine tune the pitches, meaning we want to get these pitches all around the drum at each tension point to be relatively close. That's going to give you the most tone out of your snare drum, okay? All right, so let's see where we're at. So as you could see and hear, right, this one is a little higher than the other ones I was tapping. So we want to get them relatively close, okay? Another trick you can do is lightly put a finger, put some weight in the center. That takes a little bit of that extra ring out and lets you hear the pitches better. All right, so I'm going to take a moment and do this, and then I'm going to check back in with you in a sec. All right, so we are back now after tuning all of the tension rods. I have reached the pitch I want. The drum is now fine-tuned, so check this out. This is what it sounds like. This is with the snares off. It's got a nice, clear tone to it, okay? And I'm going to turn the snares on. Let's check it out. I like the way it feels. I like the way it sounds. And we're ready to rock. So I hope this helped you guys out. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section. And I'll catch you next time. Take it easy.